Well, since not it.
We are
Well,
live.
we're live. Yeah, I don't know it. I was saying that maybe today we won't have many viewers because it's Tuesday, right?
No, it's Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it's middle of the
Yeah,
week.
because it's Wednesday.
It's middle of the week. It's the same thing.
This is the RPG morning show for the
Yeah,
for some of the people
yeah.
in the
From
US.
from most of them, yeah, yeah. It's too early. Okay, so
Uh,
our guest today is Jay Tanaka, which I suppose is not his real name.
no,
It doesn't look like a Tanaka.
not really at all.
So Jay is a Spanish artist, and he works as an illustrator. And more recently, I think it's more recently, he has started doing some work in role playing games. Um, but you can uh, talk more about that, and you know more
Yes,
than I do. Of
I've been into role playing games like forever, like since the last 80s, when I was 12 or 13, and I been playing like regularly always, but I made my own games. I made my own maps and characters and all that stuff. But it was like two or three, no, after before the COVID, I started to attend to conventions here in Spain, and I made a little fanzine named ABC Dungeon that was a compendium of 28 monsters with every letter, and people loved it. So I start to draw more RPG related stuff, and then I met this other Spanish artist, Penny Melgarejo, that is one of my biggest influences and one of my best friends. That he really he draws a lot for RPGs and have a very dark style, not like mine, but he works to with black and white and dark themes and that OSR aesthetics. So I decided to jump to the RPG industry, and so I put I joined a group in Facebook. So I received a couple of commissions, and I thought, oh, that I love this. I love RPG. I love to draw for RPG now. So
so,
so
why
it's
didn't
like,
you why didn't you start earlier? It was something that never crossed your mind.
excuse me.
Why didn't you start earlier doing
Oh,
RPG stuff?
the thing is that I am the least consistent artist ever. So it's like, oh my god, this year I love Japanese stuff. So I began to draw samurais and kaiju and yokais and all that stuff. And the next year is what about sci-fi? Then I do, but um, when I noticed that that people in the conventions liked my vintage uh, underground style that I can't define it because I know it's weird, but I then I think that I can draw more for RPGs and give my ambition on of how RPGs should look.
And if you
So
draw different styles, that helps. right? It's not just one style. If you can, oh
Yeah,
yeah, do samurais or do
yeah.
fantasy or do science sci-fi, yeah, that actually helps because you have
Mm,
more range of things that you like to draw.
correct. The thing is that I've been drawing in a professional way since like 25 years ago, but never had the chance to develop um, a real personal style, because
Hmm.
if you work for advertisings or cartoons or televisions, you have to you need to draw in a lot of different styles, but then you notice that you don't have a known style. So I began this
Hmm.
process of developing my own styles, um, that is simply to a reflection of all that I like, that is all that 1817 comic books,
Hmm.
all that 18 fantasy art, and mixed everything. And there is a lot of a huge influence of cartoons in my style, because I worked a lot for Cartoon Network. So it's like a mix of all the things that I like and that I learned and put it on paper.
Yeah,
So
it's cool. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, because I like the way you mix. It's a bit, well, it's dark and it's cartoonish, but at the same time, it has a bit of humor associated.
yeah,
So yeah.
because I one of my favorite comics when I was like 12, 11, were Conan, obviously, and Gro the
Hmm.
Barbarian. So that is like the two sides of the same thing. So yes, I have this even if I am drawing a dark scene, I discover myself putting something funny in it, because or an expression
Hmm.
or a pose or something like that. So yes, I like to put a laugh in the
Uh, Gru is a is from a Spanish artist, right?
yeah, it's from Sergio Aragonés. He made, I think he's alive. He made a lot of comics from Mad magazine before he started to make Group. Yeah,
I'm not sure if is it popular outside Europe.
I don't know. I think is really really loved in United States,
Okay.
because I think at least here in Spain, Gru was published under Marvel, but I don't
Okay.
know
Hmm.
if it was a Marvel comic.
Yeah, I know that it was popular here, but that's obviously uh, we're neighbors, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have this Canadian friend that once told me, "Hey, that girl looks like Sergio Aragonés style." So maybe I think is something now there. Yeah.
Yeah. We have
so
Alchemy Raider saying it's a wonderful modern OSR style.
Oh,
Just
thank
giving a
you.
moment for the prize. And Judd says Schalt.
yeah,
Yeah, but we'll
ciao.
talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Schalt
Okay,
comic.
so before we go into child, what have you done so far in role playing games? Before that,
Um, I made just a couple of things for a Kickstarter named how it was Vagrant, maybe no, it was not Vagrant. Well, it was a medieval fantasy, dark fantasy game. I made a couple of drawings, but the my big entry into role playing games was with Tales from the Smoking Worm. Do you know it? It's a fanzine that makes stuff from Dungeon Crawl Classics.
I
The
don't
name is
know it.
familiar.
Yeah, but I think I saw when you shared it in Twitter that
Yeah,
when that you were working for them, right?
yeah. So
Yeah, I think I
I
saw it.
made a lot of things for them, and they are great because they let me loose. So they just give me the layout of of where the art should be placed, and they tell me we need a guy asking for money in the street with ropes, and or this warrior that they give me the idea and the space, and they let me draw what I like. They
So
are
I
okay.
guess you have a lot more freedom that you normally have on the right to the drawing for role playing games that you normally would have. Is I want this, so do it.
The thing is that, as I said, I started drawing for role playing games like
Mhm,
last year, so uh, including you.
mhm,
And my experience so far is that you are the role playing game community is better customers than television or advertisings. So I the first time I sent the sketches, and I was like, but if you want changes, please tell me. I don't matter. I can play. I can make of the changes you want. And no, it's everything okay. And I was like, really? No changes at all? That's not what I'm used to. But it's
So
great. I think it's great that uh, since I've been part of the of exactly that, since role playing games have been part of my life since 35 years ago. That is too much time. I I know it's now it's great that I can be part of that too. So I'm really happy. I'm really fulfilled as an artist, drawing stuff
so you
for role
started,
playing.
you said 35 years ago, so you were still young.
No, I'm old as fuck. I'm super old. I started playing role playing in like when I was 12 or 13, 87, 88.
Yeah, I
How
think
popular?
you're insulting Miguel. No, I'm kidding. He's the oldest fart here.
Yeah, I was older. I am older. Um, were role playing games popular at the time in Spain, of course?
I think that the big the big bang of role playing games here in Spain was the Dungeons and Dragons animated show. I don't know.
I don't know if it passed if it's passed here in Portugal. I never saw it.
I don't think so.
I don't think it did. Yeah.
That
But
that TV
here,
show is it was produced during the 80s, right?
yeah,
It was still the
and
80s.
here
Yeah, probably.
here it was
Yes, I look wonderful for my 60 years old. Yes.
I think it was really big here, but we need a couple of years to get the first books
Hmm.
and stuff. And my first contact was because a kid of my school, his father was a plane pilot. I don't know if it's okay that. And he flew from America to Spain. He made that route, and what time he brought a copy of Dungeons and Dragons, and we played with that. It was in English, so our English was really bad. So we create all the rules and everything. But it was really when I was 40 in my 14th birthday.
I left the correct one.
Sorry, no. This is how rumor starts.
Yeah. Well, you look great, so and young.
Well, maybe I'll start saying that I'm 60,
Yeah,
and
so
people will
people will
say,
say, "Oh
"Yeah,
my God, I
my
can't
God, you
believe
can."
it."
But like I was saying, it was when I was 14, in my 14th birthday, I got the handbook of Call of Cthulhu, and then I started to play like every weekend. And when I went to the university, we had a role playing club. So I've been playing like almost always. Yeah.
So we have started almost the same. I also started with Dungeons and Dragons, and then
Yeah.
I bought Call of Cthulhu, and because I'm a big horror fan, and I quickly left Dungeons and Dragons and started playing horror games.
Yeah. Me too. And then I jumped to vampire and mage and all that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then I had that time that it was. I think it happens to all of us that it was difficult to get together all the group.
Hmm.
So uh, my wife, that is a saint, played with me alone, just to scratch the itch. And now I am super proud because I've introduced my nephews that are grown up, 20 and 80, and the girlfriend of one of them, and we are playing again like monthly. But we play Dungeons and Dragons because I thought that it was the best to introduce them.
Yeah, yes, that's usually the
Yeah,
what everybody thinks.
Yeah,
Fantasy
it
is
gets them
over.
hooked, and that's what people know when they think about yeah, normally about
yeah,
role playing games. It's easier to sell the idea they want to play.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
My
always dungeons.
my plan is to when we've been playing like 2 years or something like that with Dungeons and Dragons, my plan is to corrupt them into the
They are in a good
O-
age to be, yeah.
OSR and indie
They are
games
in a
and
good age to be corrupted. They
yeah,
are
yeah,
over
yeah.
18, so you
Okay, so
can.
since we are already talking about the OSR, what are your favorite games in this niche of ours?
The thing is that I bought a lot of games, but I can't really play, so I read
Yeah,
them. I really like Dungeon Crawl Classics. I think is a great way to bring the old times here. And but I am super interested in Dungeon World and Powered by Apocalypse as a system that I think is not OSR at all.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
it's a story game.
Yeah, we
Mm,
tried, well, with the new, we tried two games with the new cult and another one that I don't remember that we never got to play. It was a cyberpunk, and
Yeah,
I don't like the narrative part. Yeah, it annoys me.
yeah,
I can.
the
Yeah.
thing is that I me as game master I am very focused on narrative.
Hmm.
So Powered by
Yeah,
Apocalypse is
yeah. What I don't like is that I'm when I'm a player, I don't want to be, that is, I don't want to make the. I'm okay with the game master doing the choices for me. I don't want. I want to play my character. I don't want to think about like the mega plot, and I feel like the it gets
yeah,
too much emphasis on that.
Our at least from my side, what I don't like narrative games. I like narrative play, but without rules
Yeah.
for. I feel that the story games um, they enter an area that is not so that I don't like rules to apply to, which is the role playing part of the game. I like rules to serve as an arbiter, to know what happens, so so everybody has the same kind of okay, you do a check and you roll for something. But when we enter the role playing part of it, I want it to be all fluid and without any kind of restraints. And I feel that the story games they want you to, so the player has to do something and he has to apply some
Yeah.
maneuver that will change the story in some way. So it's too, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
it's very
Yeah.
Feels
popular.
like
Powered by the Apocalypse, there's a lot
yeah,
of
it's very
games.
popular.
Yeah, there's a lot of games using it, and there's a lot of people that like it. And we did try with
Mm.
Cult, we played, but we're like, I don't like these rules. Let's go and play the old Cult.
I think that is a powerful tool. Powered by Apocalypse is a powerful tool that is very versatile too. So I think that you can I directed like 3 or 4 sessions of
Hmm.
Dungeon World, and the first one was really messy because it's a system I didn't knew. But then I understood that I can I could take the narrative part that I like, but uh, make choices and direct some other parts in a more traditional way.
Hmm.
So I think that I like to have the best of 2 worlds. Sorry, but no, I that I am directing Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, like the last session, we almost didn't throw the die because we were talking and deciding it was a session about choices and
Hmm.
conversation. So I like that is a very open system that maybe I can apply to a more traditional uh,
Hmm.
method. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm thinking is Ten Candles powered by the
Yeah,
Apocalypse? No, yeah,
no,
because I was thinking that
it's
yeah,
his
it's
own system.
narrative. Yeah, because that's something that is also very popular for people that like horror games. And I was now I wasn't sure if it was yeah,
No,
it's
that's
not
its
powered by the Apocalypse, right?
it
Its
has
own
its own
system.
system. Yeah, which involves candles,
Yeah, I know it involves
which
candles,
are
and I
10
know
in number.
yes, and they
yeah.
delay and things happen. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But
that is
I
one
don't.
that I would like to play, but I think it's too messy. First it's like yeah, but then you have the candles like.
Well, we're playing online, so no, it doesn't work. The candles wouldn't work unless they are virtual
Well, you
candles.
couldn't because with the cats, yeah, the
Yeah,
candles, they will.
yeah, could be a problem. Yeah. So let's talk about child, right? You are starting. I'm not sure. Yes, you've started already to do something for
Yeah,
the webcomic.
we started that webcomic, and there is only uh, one page published now. So let's see how it goes. I'm really excited about it because I think that the world of child is made for me. It's like like uh, I found a twin soul in Venger Satanis in how we think about sword and sorcery and technology and how the world works and is. So I think it's going to be a great experiment. So I'm really happy working with him. I hope he's happy working with me too. And I think well that at least we are having fun.
Did you know the Vengeance games for a long time, or just it's a recent thing?
Uh, it's really recent, yeah, because like you said before, I started uh, trying to be into RPG like a year ago. So or as an artist, so I opened this Tanaka OSR Twitter account and
Hmm.
began to follow everyone. And I started to follow what those games that I liked the art because it's my main focus now. The those the OSR art, and I look at child. I love the colors, how crude and primitive everything looks, and I don't know. I think he. We started following each other. He contacted me. He told me I have this idea of making a web comic, and I said yes, make me yours. I mean,
I was
I
going to
think
ask something
that
about it.
we 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 have we have a lot to show
Mhm.
because we.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I
So
was
you,
think,
I- the story is the story something original or just you're adapting something?
I think it's 1% original by Venger. Yes,
Hmm. Sylvia?
I don't know the whole story. The method is really.
Yeah, it's probably a new story.
yeah, so he's
He
gonna
tells
give
me.
you the, yeah, he
Yeah,
gives
he
you the
tells me in
snippet,
this.
little snippet.
Yeah, in this page happens this. So it's like the Marvel method where Stan Lee gives the plot to the artist and the artist draw the comic, give the pages to Stan Lee, and then Stan Lee wrote the dialogues.
Mhm.
It's exactly like that. I made the layout of the page with everything that happens. I send it to him, and he told me, well, in this frame they say that, and it's fun. It's a very organic uh, workflow because I had to. He he changed some of his ideas because of my layout and how I positioned the characters and everything, and then I have to adapt the drawing because of his texts. So it's like it's not a closed workflow. I enjoy a lot.
Mhm. What I was going to say is that I was already thinking, to we should get some art done by Jay. But I was thinking, but what should it, but what should it be? Yeah, and then me and Miguel, we both had the same idea at the same time because he was just saying, oh, what should we do for the cover for the for the generic rules? And we both, I was saying, well, we could ask, and he was already thinking that we could ask Tanaka, and he had the same idea at the same time. So
No, that's it.
I think
I'm
it's the
I'm
perfect.
I'm really grateful because you choose me because it's a super fun project to make art for a generic rule set because I am drawing in the same project. I am drawing sword and sorcery and pulp and sci-fi, so I can't ask for more,
Yeah,
obviously.
and I think your
And
style is good
you
for
are
that.
great and you love all the sketches and all the ideas I throw.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm not boring as well. I usually I just say okay, I want this, and then I accept. I don't. Well, I mean, when you say when you ask for something, you already have given your input. So after it's done, it's just uh, well, obviously some minor details, but after
yeah,
the input
but
is given.
as I said in my last experience in TV, mostly in TV, there are uh, great artists and creatives there, and I work with awesome people there, awesome professionals, but there are a lot of advertising professionals that want you to be a drawing machine that
Mhm.
like they want to guide your hand like and it's frustrating because uh, they don't let you do your part. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I am not an advertising creative. I don't have, I will not say my opinion about your work. So let me do mine.
Yeah,
And it's something that uh, for now I don't find here in RPG, and is a paradise for me.
Yeah, I don't see. Well, I know. I might be mistaken, but I think you will not. At least not in the indie.
yeah, probably.
Because
Maybe.
also, if you, maybe some people,
Yeah,
but if you choose that person, you saw the style, so you want that style. So do your go and do your thing. That's what I'm paying you for. You don't want.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna draw for you. That is just do your magic.
that's right. I think that obviously if you have an idea and you are paying for an
Hmm.
artist, you want to see your idea in that art. But it's great. I think that two minds think better
Hmm.
than one, and you can have an idea, and then the artist can say, "Okay, I like that, but what if?" And it's a way of make something rich. I think
Yeah.
sometimes the creator and the artist don't match. That's a thing too. But
Yes, that's why when we are choosing someone to do the art, it's important to know what the artist does,
Yeah, not just
or
the
else it would be a problem.
exactly. So
Yeah,
you know
not
the
just the
you know
style, but
the style, but know the work, know the feeling of the person. Does this
yeah,
person goes well with? Let was saying that I thought that we don't use a lot of the comics, but I thought yeah that Tanaka's art could have that wretchedness and it go well with our games.
yes, it probably wouldn't connect with other stuff,
Yeah,
especially if it's stock art. Sometimes there's a
yeah,
problem.
it has to be
There are
just
different styles.
exactly.
Even though I love to use other stuff, but there will be some. I love
Yeah,
to
but there will
choose
be
something
mostly will
that
be
is.
it will be just drawings, right? For that one,
No, this one has to be just drawings.
exactly. That one will
I
be
hate
just
mixing
drawings.
photos with drawings is horrible. I don't like that. Actually, I hate role playing games that have photos, real photos. But I had to use them because at a certain point when it started, I had to use stock photos and stock images in general. But we didn't have much illustrations that could be used for modern day games. Most people who are doing stock art for role playing games do either fantasy or space opera, and in the middle there's a lack of choices.
I think that maybe it's because it can be boring to do
Mhm.
Hmm.
nowadays stuff, or if you are not in really interested on that kind of things, is more entertaining to draw fantasy
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
sci-fi.
and the market also asks more for that, and
Yeah,
not that much for other stuff.
hmm.
But our wretched line has has everything, and
Not yet. Almost
well,
everything.
almost everything. Has a lot of styles, but in the middle,
But
the scenarios were mostly horror, and not all modern, but modern or 19th century. So
but
you needed.
you have an amazing amount of quality content, and I think that that is something that you don't find everywhere, and you don't find that amount of good content made by two people. So I think you are monsters of this world because
Now we
I
are
have
trying
spent
to expand, to have more stuff from other people, so I can slow a little bit down, and try to concentrate more on layouts and on my writing. Well, there was something that I had a lot of scenarios that were three of them or four of them had been published, but they were republished in OSR format, and I had a few that were written but not published. So I had an amount of work that was put together, and after we started publishing, because we started only 9 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe. So it was there was a lot of stuff that was already written and ready to publish.
So
But
you cheated.
It's great.
yeah,
It's great. It's great.
Let me just go a bit back. We had this comment when we were talking about games from Alchemy Raker, and I'm gonna say that yeah, as I say, I don't like narrative games, but it's like my rule is play whatever. There are no bad games. It's just play whatever you like, because it depends of the group and depends of the
yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
I can't use story games. That's not for me. The way the things are structured, the way that
Yeah,
things
with
are
example
played,
with Apocalypse Now, yeah, I
it
feel
doesn't
like
work
you
for
have
me.
Apocalypse Now, no Apocalypse, powered by the Apocalypse. I think that structure kind of we are very unstructured.
Yeah, and we
That's
like the role
exactly.
playing to
It's like
be.
play whatever you want, and sometimes we make fun of because I remember you also did you talked about this some time ago, Jay, about the people that's make fun of people that play 5e. But I don't think it's about people that play 5e. It's just that I think some of the people that play 5e are like what we call the sparkle trolls. I think it's becoming associated to the people that are like tourists in the hobby, right? Because the tourists will
Yeah.
only play 5e. But there's a lot of people that's played everything that play 5e.
The big thing about 5e is that it's not the same game they launched in 2040 at all. I have the three basic handbooks: the monster, the player, and the DM. And I think that is a great system that gives a lot of chances to make great stuff. But uh, when I created that Twitter account and I began to read things about what Wizards was doing to 5e, I said, but why? It's not the game. It's not the same game I bought like 8 years ago.
So you
So
are
I think
talking
that
about stuff like the Radiant Citadel and the Strixhaven and that stuff.
yeah, I think of course. I think that the problem is not 5e, but the modern content
Mm,
that is like propaganda.
yeah,
So
for modern
so
audiences.
that no, I know that this is stepping into thin ice. Don't talk about all of this, but I think that is not the elephant in the room
Hmm.
because everyone talks about it. But um, I don't see the point in pushing a political agenda into RPGs, into any political agenda or any RPG, and and that's what Wizards is doing now. Is like this is my game, this part is my game, but
Yeah,
all of around is agenda and propaganda, and I don't understand that
It's stupid,
because
but everybody is doing it, right? Marvel is
yeah,
doing it.
Disney is yeah
yeah,
Disney
but
Disney is
Marvel's the
doing
same
it.
thing.
So
Everybody's doing in
but
TV shows, films, comics.
I wrote a tweet a couple of months ago when all this OGL thing explode. I wrote that RPG is the most inclusive hobby. I've been playing RPG 35 years, and I've never asked or cared about the race of my players, their political ideology, their gender, their sexuality. Uh, if you are a killer or a murderer or you like to eat baby cats, then I don't want you in my table. But but I've
Especially the
never
baby
cared.
cats.
yeah,
I've
definitely
never
not. No.
cared, and I've known uh, hundreds of players and we've never asked each other, before you sit in my table, I want you to know your gender and your politics. Never happened until to now,
Cal
until
is
today.
practicing his Spanish.
Yeah,
I don't know if what I was talking about, but probably what we were saying now.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I think that I must be a pain in the ears of, because as I said, my accent is very bad, but I hope they can forgive me.
Of course they can.
Well,
I would like to see.
your accent is Spanish. I think
Yes,
that
yes.
everybody knows it. Uh, Even people even actors who live in the U.S. for many years, they still have the well, maybe they have the accent on purpose. I don't know. Banderas should have lost his accent a long ago, but he still
I
has it.
think that is uh, very recognizable. I've not traveled a lot, but I've been in France and in UK, in United States, and in Portugal too. And when I speak in English, everyone always tell me, "Oh, you're from Spain." It's because the accent, because I maybe I look Spanish. Obviously, I don't look like Swedish or Finnish, but I can be French or Portuguese
Yeah,
or
but in
but
Portugal they will know you're Spanish right away. And is why are you speaking? Well, though you should be happy that you're speaking in English and not in Spanish, and expecting us to understand. Because Portuguese people they also complain about that. Oh, why are they speaking? I don't speak Spanish. Why are they speaking
Yeah,
Spanish with me?
even though everybody understands Spanish in
Yes,
Portugal.
exactly.
But we don't speak, of course. Well, some people try to speak. It's horrible when a Portuguese person who doesn't really know how to speak Spanish, but understands and tries to speak Spanish just by
It's
doing
like
the
we
intonation.
made fun of
Yeah,
the football players, the
it's kind of
Portuguese
a
football
yeah,
players that go to Spain and they start
yeah.
speaking Portuñol.
yeah. Their Portuñol is horrible, horrible.
I've been this summer. I've been in Oporto, like 10 days, and it's a lovely city. But I found a comic store, and they have RPG stuff, and I started to talk to the owner. He noticed I was Spanish because I went with my wife, and we entered talking Spanish. He tried to talk to me in Spanish. I tried to talk a couple of words in Portuguese, and then we said, "Okay, let's switch to English." This never happened.
Yeah, it's better, right? That's true. So you live in Madrid?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is the Madrid accent. It's very hard
yeah,
because it's very throaty. It's very hard, and for example, when we're seeing film or anything, I can kind of understand. Well, if it's South America, I understand it better. But if it's
no,
with the Madrid accent, and when I've been to Madrid, I felt that
yeah.
I was
Well,
like, I don't understand. I can't
we
understand the thing they're saying.
we have that rule that that an S before a C sounds like a
Mm. Yeah, that's the thing that's complicated for foreigners to understand.
like
Even when we,
for example, uh, escape. We escapar.
yeah, it always sounds very rough, like
Yeah,
I don't know, as if someone is coughing in the middle of a sentence. So it's for me it's much easier to understand Spanish from South America, any country in South America. I don't even need subtitles when I'm seeing watching a I don't know a Mexican or Argentinian movie. It's very easy to understand. I
yes,
suppose the same thing happens with the Brazilian Portuguese. I think people
Probably, I think, yeah,
understand. It's easier to understand. It's clearer for something
yeah,
for
that's
some
what they
reason.
say.
but I think it's in South America is softer and like like more music, the
Mhm.
accent.
Yeah, yeah. The musicality probably helps foreigners to understand it.
Yeah.
Um, what?
So
1970. Oh,
damn,
okay, that's
I,
old.
I wasn't even born then.
Yeah, that's how old Griffith is.
Griffith is an old man. Now I can make fun of someone.
Yes.
He's older than I am. Oh, Kala is older than me too.
Yeah.
He said he's 50 something. I think Griffith is older
Yeah.
than him.
They were talking about some Kickstarter
Of
before.
course, in this channel, it's just old people.
Yeah.
No, no sparkle trolls.
I I I,
I don't think
I
so. My dad is older than you are. He's 80,
that
80 years old.
all the old things are better always.
Yeah, that's true. Nowadays we are only watching old movies and old TV
Yeah.
shows, and we stopped trying to.
Whenever we start to watch something new, we think, "Oh, this is shit."
Yeah, it's
I,
terrible.
I, every time we finish a show, me and my wife, is like, okay, I am scared to choose a new one and discover that it's shit.
Yeah.
That it's all like we are talking before. That is all agenda and all
Yeah.
propaganda. I don't want that. I want fun. I don't want to be said you are doing bad and this is the right. I don't want that.
Yeah, and you
I
have the female, the annoying, well, female protagonist, the strong female protagonist that most of the time now is a black woman,
Yeah,
but she's
lesbian.
always incredibly
I
boring.
like
Everybody is boring.
and we
Griffith
have
is asking for samples.
Oh, yeah.
uh,
Well,
Tanaka is doing, yeah,
you can check the webcomic.
yeah.
The Avengers
Okay.
webcomic
that's the
is
problem when we do streams, because then someone joined, but that's okay. We'll repeat. So,
Yeah.
among other things, Tanaka is the artist doing the Shalt web comic with Venger, and
I
he's
can't.
also going to do some art for us. You can show it,
It's in the
share it.
blog, right?
Yes, it's in the blog.
I need to ask the guys from Smoking Worm permission to show what
Hmm.
I drawing from them, because I don't know if they have already printed. I've collaborated in like three numbers of the magazine. I know the last one is still in the pre-production phase, but I don't know if the other if I can show things from the other two, because
For some reason.
I'm really happy. I'm really proud of what I'm
For
drawing
some reason,
for them.
I can't share this. Why can't I share this? Okay.
Uh,
Am I sharing it?
Uh,
yes, now you are sharing it.
Okay.
there it is. Yeah.
Okay. So this is
The
under the
first.
Fuchsia sky.
Now
I really
I
like the
see that.
colors.
I don't know it.
Uh,
Do you know it?
I've seen it. It looks good, but I don't know how are the rules or the
Well,
or
there's
anything.
one that's terribly famous, which is Aquelarre. I think it's
But
pronounced like that.
I played a lot of Aquelarre back in my university time, like a lot, and I think it's a very solid, a very great game. I have the original handbook that is really thin, but it's great. The art is great. The system is great. Well, it is the Call of Cthulhu system, so
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's it.
it's
And but it's translated to English, right? Aquelarre as an English edition.
I don't know. I don't know that.
I think there is. Yes, I think there is. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was recently they did a Kickstarter or something, and
Yeah,
it
I
was.
know that a couple of years ago, they make like no, it's not a remake because I think it is just the same system, but they made new art and new
Mhm.
new books, and is I think is a great work. But as I said, I don't know if there are so many other Spanish games
Hmm.
that I know.
There's one that I would like to that I never it was never translated to English, but which was unfortunate because I would like to read it in English, which is Capitano La Triste.
Oh,
Uh, I'm a fan of the novels, and she is too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a the first time I read the first novel, I said this needs a role playing game because
Hmm.
it's an amazing time of our country is
We are
the
we are
Not
thinking
for
about
us.
maybe,
Not
yeah.
for us.
Yes, it's the same country.
ah,
It's the same country at that
We
time,
would
well,
like it
more or
anyway.
less.
So.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we like it. We were thinking about, well, I don't know, maybe doing a game, depend on
Yeah,
that area, but
adapting,
in that epoch, but maybe for Bastard, so it's
but
in.
not historical because I would like to avoid as much as I can to do historical research. Uh,
So maybe have it in
but
Bastard, so it's
doing
fantasy,
something,
and we
yeah,
can.
you can play with
But
things anyway.
I like a lot to to play with history and put historic ideas into fantasy settings.
Hmm.
Hmm.
A fantasy setting with the Spanish tercios and all
Hmm.
of that, and the fencers and
Yeah,
all
and
of that time will
in
be
the
great.
in
So
the Imperium and all that, that could be, yeah.
when you do that, you will be invited to do the art.
Yeah, yeah, you have to do a cover that is
I love it.
the, how do we call it? I, the surrender of Breda, not Breda, Breda.
Oh
Well,
Yeah,
wow!
we can't use that name, but
no, no, but it should be, it could be, it should be
oh
inspired in
yeah,
that.
there's a question here.
Yeah.
I can imagine something like that, but with a fallen dragon behind the troops or something like that. Or
Have you seen Secrets of Blackmore? That's a question about the Griffiths movie.
If you don't, you should see it. You should see it.
no,
It's very interesting.
It's a documentary about
Yeah,
a part of the history, not the most famous part, not Gary Gygax, but the Dave Arneson and his
that
group.
worked with him. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's very, not just because Griffith is a nice guy, but yeah, he's very, it's interesting, and he's a
No,
really
it's
good. No, it's a very
yeah.
good storyteller, and this is a really good way to learn more about the story of role playing games and how it started from war games to role playing games.
Yeah. Anyway, it
Yeah.
makes a question. So, can you
yeah,
answer
what do
it?
you promote? I don't know. Maybe I have this friend that is really more into the community, and maybe he can know which blog to
Because you have
contact.
conventions, right? Because you have at least a big convention, not like us here in Portugal.
As far as I know, there is one only role playing convention here in Madrid. I don't know in the rest of the country, but here in Madrid is not really big and is a bunch of old timers like us playing games. I don't. I maybe if with the appearance of Dungeons and Dragons in Stranger Things, there has been a bit more of interest about RPG in Spain, but I don't see a lot of people really a lot of new
Hmm.
players stepping into RPGs here in Spain, and maybe the new ones that enter the role playing game community are really sparkle trolls,
Yeah,
which
because
Yeah.
I
is not
know
good.
things are very, yeah, things
Yeah.
in Spain are, well, worse than they are here so far.
Don't
Uh,
please
They
don't
will
talk to
also
me
be,
about that.
yeah, they will, they're gonna start being bad here also, but we are always delayed in everything. So
oh
what's
yeah,
going to happen is when people are ending wokeness in the rest of the world, we are going to be in peak wokeness.
yeah. That's very likely.
No, maybe you. I think that uh, uh, I don't know a lot about Portugal, but um, sometimes I think that you are the intelligent Spanish, like 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 the intelligent people in the peninsula, because I don't see Portugal making the silly things that we do, and
We do
and
it, but we
this
are
is a
quiet
relief.
about it.
This
I
is a
think that's the
relief.
difference. I think we are quiet about. We do stupid things, but we are quiet about it. Nobody
when I
notices.
found out that Spain was getting uh, very woke, I found that a bit strange because I had the feeling that you didn't really like Americans that much, and didn't really like to import cultural stuff from America. But maybe I'm wrong, or things are
I
changing.
I don't know how this oh, it is my wife, how this really happened, but it's like five four yeah, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, with the change of government, we had a far left government now, and the wokeness in Spain is a thing of a state.
Okay.
Maybe you don't find uh, too many woke people in the street,
Hmm.
but the government
Hmm.
is full woke.
Yeah, podemos.
So yeah, so they are forcing us to be woke
Hmm.
by politic and by law, which I think is the worst way to do something, obviously.
Yeah.
And and yes, I see a lot of people that goes really woke, but I think is not the vast majority of the country. Is like I said, more a thing of the government that of the people. But it's not a good thing at all. I think so. I know I know I close a lot of doors saying this kind of things, but I think it's necessary that that some artists uh,
Hmm.
step step ahead and say I am not woke. I don't like woke politics. I think this is not good because usually the art world is linked to the left,
Yeah.
and it's not like that. I make a weekly cartoon for a conservative newspaper, and I know a lot of people that in the world of art that is not into this way
Hmm.
of thinking, but they are afraid to say that they are against,
Hmm.
Mhm.
because it's a way to lose your job.
Yeah.
But
But in Spain, was all the left contaminated by the woke virus? Because in Portugal, there's still a communist party that is very much traditional in the Marxist sense of it. So
The
they
old Marxist, not the new
the
one.
old Marxists, not this weird thing.
um, not here at all.
Mm.
I think here the the named Communist Party is like a few people, but the hairs of the Communist Party are really deep in the woke culture.
Hmm.
They are
Yeah,
pushing the
that's
trans
strange.
laws, and they are
Yeah.
pushing abortion. They are pushing euthanasia.
Here, no, no, I'm not sure about abortion. I think they are, but they are
No, I
strongly
think
against
they approve abortion, but
euthanasia. Yes, but
not
they are against
euthanasia.
euthanasia. The Communist
No.
Party here is strong, but we have the new left. We call it here the
Oh yeah,
caviar left, and they went completely.
I like that.
Yeah, they went completely
Caviar
woke.
left. I think
they were
it's
woke before woke.
Yeah, well, they were always with political correctness that was usual
Yeah.
at the time, but now, yeah, they are. And our government is socialist. They are not full woke, but I think they will. It doesn't cost them anything to be woke. Is cheap, and they think some people will get happy about it.
Okay.
Well, you're lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I already know a few people, which
yeah. We
is
actually had someone that stopped talking to us. Someone that used to play with us because of something really stupid.
a joke, a joke
Yeah, a joke
about
about
genders.
yes.
Yeah.
But we have a wokist playing in our group, but he's almost a professional wokist. He works in
Acad-
academia, so he can put it all aside for for
if he wants to
for
play,
an
no,
hour or two.
there's no
Yeah,
point, yeah, of being too woke because he's the only one in the group. So
yeah. He doesn't win
Yeah.
here, so he just
I see. I see. I see. But I think that um, um, the the real reality is different than the internet reality.
mhm.
So
mm,
the social media is an echo chamber, and you can read Twitter and think that everything is horrible and that everyone is a Nazi or everyone is a communist, and then you go to do the groceries and everyone is normal.
Yeah, but
So I think that the social media are just an echo chamber
I
for
think
the
the
most
problem is,
extreme people.
yeah, I think the problem is that in cases like Spain, is the government putting the laws, but most normal people don't know that is happening. They don't know, and when they
Yeah,
understand, it's going to be too late because the
yeah,
laws are
yeah.
already going to be in place.
yeah.
I guess
That's
it's probably
At
going to
least that's
happen
what I
here.
feel here in Portugal. That people
Yeah.
don't have because it just happens in the internet.
No,
Most people
certainly.
are not aware of it.
No, for example, my mother, she uses Facebook every day. Not very well, but she uses it. Uh, but even though she's on Facebook every day, she doesn't know. If I told her that if a guy wants to change genders, and he doesn't really have to do anything about it, just to say, "Well, I feel like a woman, so I'm going to." Now I am a woman, and he can go to the women's bathroom or whatever. She doesn't know. She would probably think that I was kidding her, joking.
And she is happier than us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I remember I was telling that I was telling my family about the award that we won and lost, and it was very and my grandmother was listening to and about the us being transphobic and blah blah blah, and my grandmother was listening and was just laughing because it's like, oh, everybody is insane. My 90-year-old grandmother. It was really funny. My mom was also, oh, really? But my grandma, that is, well, almost deaf, but I think she was hearing enough, and she was just laughing and saying, "Oh, you're all
Yeah.
silly. That doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, well,
I think
as
that
Joseph is saying,
Yeah,
there are still people that are left. Well, we were left leaning, not anymore.
I'm a little bit. Well, I don't think I'm right wing in the
I'm
way
not
that
going
I'm
to
not
say no, but
conservative.
I would now if someone asks me, I will say that I am centrist or
Yeah,
something like that because I'm not.
but
I can't say that
you
I'm
know
left leaning anymore.
that nowadays being centrist is being a Nazi.
Yeah,
yeah,
You are
exactly.
aware of
that's
that.
true. Yeah.
Because
Well, we've
I've
been told that.
I've always said that I am a centrist. I like things from the progressists. I like things from the conservatives. I I've voted the Socialist Party. I've voted the Conservative Party. I haven't voted at all. I I think I can relate to parts of all the of almost every political view. But if you say that, they will the all that left wing extremists will say, "Oh, you say you are a centrist because you are, in fact, you are a far right conservative." And no, but they don't understand because they have they path and they follow that and they can't see outside that.
It's a weird thing. It's
So
like a cult, a
yeah,
religious cult. Very weird.
absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes it's fun. You can make some good loves out of that, but sometimes
Yeah.
is the most of the times is sad because I think, come on, we can get to an agreement in the most of the things.
And
We
very
can.
annoying. Now, yeah, we released the game, which is
You're gonna let's
some
have our pundit moments.
yeah, a bit of publicity.
Let's
Uh,
remember everybody that they can still buy mana.
yeah, man is still on drive-through. It's still on drive-through. It's probably not going to stay there long because
I, I,
there
I
are some
think I
work.
think it's I think it's great to have that kind of to create that kind of content just because. So don't you like it? So here it is.
I think
Don't,
this the same.
so it's like when that guy of Wizard of the Coast said that it's time that while white male left Dungeons and Dragons, then I said, okay, I will play Dungeons and Dragons until I die because I don't want you to tell me what to do.
Something like that is happening here as well. She's trying
Yes, I'm
to
trying to
lose
lose
some weight.
weight. But yesterday I drank because it was Valentine's Day and I
Yeah.
used it as an excuse.
So
Wine is too good. I saw my videos from 1 year ago and I was so thin. I don't know how I put 10 kilos in 1 year. Well, I know how.
yeah, you know,
Let's
you
not talk
ate
about
them.
that.
You ate them.
And drank them. Yeah.
Yeah, you drank them
No, it's the
as a
pandemic.
visitor.
The pandemic
Yeah. No, it was
makes
after the pandemic. That's
make
the problem.
Well, yeah,
It was last year.
the bad habits
Yes.
started with the pandemic.
In last year it was, oh, now there's no pandemic. Let's go back to normal. I don't want to go back to normal. Leave me alone.
But well, that's what is it? Well, I guess it will be it will not disappear because I
Yeah.
think when it goes out of when drive-through kicks it out, I think we'll sell it on
Yeah. On Big Geek.
Big Geek. So it's
so
probably
and
possible.
drive through is not friend of that kind of content. Then
No, no,
No, no,
not at
no.
all. Not at all. They have already a while ago we had a scenario called Sexual Holocaust, which is
oh
inspired
yeah,
by Hellraiser.
that's what I came to know you because I
Hmm.
read about that affair in Twitter and I said
Well, that's good.
I must to follow these guys because
And so what
I
happened
saw
that they said, well, this is offensive because well, someone reported it, and they said, no, this is offensive, so you have to change it. That's it. And I just said, no, no, I don't. No, I don't have to change it. I'll change nothing. So I'll say, well, it's not there anymore. And I've made it free on Big Geek Emporium, and it's there. And well,
but
yeah,
I say is fiction. So why
yeah,
fiction must be under a moral direction?
that's right.
Yeah.
So if fiction, if we put moral directions in fiction, we will not have like the 99% of novels and movies out there. We
Exactly.
we
Art needs to be problematic.
okay we can't read Lolita. We can't read I don't know Truman Capote because Truman Capote have that book about that two killers. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
the
Oh,
English name.
and
Is
Steinbeck. Steinbeck is highly
Steinbeck
problematic. He like bullfights and hunting and
or
fishing
or
and the women.
or we can have all the movies with divine. So it's fiction. Let's play. It's fiction that fiction. If you make a novel, a comic, a song about a killer, and is the main character, and is the guy who wins, that not means that you support killing. That
Yeah.
means that
Exactly.
you are telling a story. I don't know. Have you seen Breakpoint by Woody Allen?
Not
Breakpoint.
sure.
Well, it's a big spoiler, but it's an old movie. I think I can say that. But
Yeah,
the
we
the,
saw a
the,
lot of his movies, but I'm not sure if we saw that
the,
one.
the main
I'm
character
checking.
is a cold motherfucker, and he wins at the end. And is
Ah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah. Match Point. Yes, yes.
match point.
Exactly. Yeah,
That
because it's
Oh, okay.
inspired in is inspired in Crime and Punishment, right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
so the, the bad guy wins, and you can relate to him, and you finally when you watch the end, you feel bad because at least I felt bad because I was happy that he was not caught. So uh, uh, why can't we do that? Of course, Woody Allen is not supporting killing right in that
Exactly.
movie. He's not
Yeah, it's
supporting
it's
killing
all
right in that
crazy.
movie.
Yeah, it's all crazy.
But
Uh,
of course, Woody Allen is one of the
yeah,
main enemies of woke
of course.
agenda. So
Yeah,
he's not the best example, obviously.
of course. Yeah, it's been a target for a long time since
Yeah.
Me Too. Ian Polanski.
Yeah, and I love
Ah, Polanski,
Polanski. I love his movies. Yeah, we
Yeah,
love his movies.
Polanski and Tarantino. What's wrong with Tarantino?
Yeah, Tarantino
Yes,
wasn't that bad,
that's
but there's something
yeah.
some actresses
He
complain,
wasn't
right?
accused. He wasn't accused of rape, but he was accused of
But
other
he does
things.
have a food fetish, so maybe they were too
yeah,
embarrassed to say whatever they were asked to do. It's not
Yeah,
something they want to tell.
yeah. Even
but
though it's
I think that we don't have to limit fiction in any way. So, and if you don't like something, don't read it, don't watch it, don't play it. It's that easy.
But let others play. That is the thing. Okay, this game is what
yeah,
I was saying about narrative games. This game is not for you. Okay, but it's for other people.
Yeah,
yeah. It's this thing of Joe Griffith wanting to control everything. It's very authoritarian and nasty, and yeah. Well, what can we do? Just try to survive through this.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
So
just keep putting out offensive things.
everything is offensive.
and the funny thing about that is that one thing that today is not considered offensive can be offensive tomorrow. So you are never safe.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah.
You
Even the
can be
woke.
yeah. You can be the wokest person today, and tomorrow you can be cancelled
Yeah, there was
because
that
you did something
in role
something
playing
wrong.
games. There was that guy Adam something, Adam Coble, I think. He was very woke, but he was cancelled because in a live stream, um, there was something with a robot that was raped, and then the guy was cancelled. He disappeared completely.
Yeah.
So that's keeps happening. Yeah, this is not really famous. It's just
It's crazy, and I don't think they really think about the consequences of canceling someone. I think that they really don't understand the harm they can cause canceling
or maybe
someone.
they just oh yeah, they just don't care. They are
No, I don't care
disgusting people.
because as I said, I am an old fart, so I don't care if someone comes to me and tell me you are a Nazi because you work for a conservative newspaper. I don't care that, but if you are in your 20s, that can be uh, completely um, destroying. That can destroy you as not only as a professional, but personally. So I don't understand how they can be so mean without thinking of the consequences.
I don't know. I think maybe they expect it will never happen to them.
Oh yeah,
They're just doing it to others.
that's
They have,
probably.
they talk a lot about empathy, but they have no empathy.
But
They don't know the
they
meaning
are
of the word.
yeah, they claim to be the good guys, but are the
Yeah,
worst. Okay,
Definitely.
I know a lot of, of people that is more in the right wing that I am, and they'll never think of cancel someone or be mean or is a kind of behavior that you find in the left, and I don't know why, because they are supposed to be the good guys.
Yeah. In their mind, they are very good. So they are doing this
They
for good reasons. So it's everything can be done for good reasons. I think it's there's
so
reasoning. I bet.
I think there is some kind of short circuit in their minds, and that echo chamber that I said later, that makes them blind to 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 the fact that they are destroying people's lives. Not maybe destroying in a very bad sense, but they are making worse people's life, and that is not good. That can't be good. Even if you think that you are the good guy, you can't go and destroy someone just because.
Yeah. Shadow as a.
very gloom.
So,
Yeah, but
yeah,
I agree with him. I think they
Yeah,
are some of the people. I think some of the people who converted to the woke side, they did it because they were already very mean people, but they wanted something, a reason to do it for
for a
good
good cause to pretend
for a
they
good
are the
cause.
good
Yeah.
guys.
yeah.
So
Finally,
now they have a card. They have a white card, so they can do whatever they want to. You
Nothing.
you can be nasty as
I am a pathologic optimistic, and I prefer to think that they are wrong, not just that they are mean. They are wrong, and
yeah.
they somehow
Probably
like,
the younger ones. The younger ones, I believe they are wrong. They are
maybe it's
just
like I don't know, when I was a kid, I didn't like artichokes. Now I love them. I think they they will understand that they are not doing the good things.
okay. Now that we've talked about
we are
depressive stuff,
becoming a very yeah. This is becoming very gloomy.
let's talk a
No,
little bit about
I
our influences
I
because
Yeah,
don't
that's
know I
something
don't
that
know why, but uh, like the 19% conversations that I have ended talking about politics.
yeah. It also happens to us now when we talk
Yeah,
about. It's impossible not to get away too much about the cancel culture when we were talking about
no.
culture.
So I was a few days ago, I think it was last week, probably. You tweeted something about your influences, and you mentioned a couple of movies. One of them was Barbarians, and the other one
Yeah,
was some
barbarians and conquest
yeah,
Uh,
Conquest. Yeah, that's right.
that
Though
are
we
that are horrible movies. Are
yeah,
worse than bad, but but visually I post today a tweet with two old vintage drawings of
yes, I saw it.
with a witch and an Amazon that are technically are poor. The anatomy is bad, the perspective bad, but there is a primitive strength there that I find in Conquest and in Barbarians, and that I like to I'd love to put in my drawings to be that primitive in my things.
So you like bad movies? Let's talk about bad movies.
I love bad movies.
Yeah, we also love bad. There's something that there's a genre, the
Yeah.
horror. There are no bad, well, almost no bad movies in horror. There are a few, but the ones that are really, really, really bad, they are never bad. They are they
I
go.
love I don't know if you know it, this rock and roll nightmare with the heavy metal singer John Michael. You know that movie?
Let me check.
If you haven't watched it, you have to, because it's one of the best worst movies ever. It's amazing.
I don't think I've seen this one.
87, right? Mm.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Is that
Oh, I like this. I like the
yeah, the cover
poster.
is interesting, but
yeah,
I can't remember it.
so the main the protagonist and the director and the writer is that this heavy metal singer that was also a culturist. So it's everything perfect. It's the big hair, the muscles, the bad effects, the that is ridiculously bad.
He knows
That
it.
that that's why it's good for me.
Yeah, those 80s movies are they have something.
And
Uh,
they are the inspiration for a lot of our stuff. Well, for the
yeah,
fantasy
well,
stuff and for the
those
exploitation for sure.
that you mentioned when we started doing Wretched Bastards, which is our fantasy game, uh, Barbarians was the first thing on my mind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I had seen when I started. Probably I hadn't seen Conquest at the time. I saw it when I was doing some research. I saw a bunch of those
Yeah.
movies. Some of those that are kind of, well, they came after Conan was started a fashion, a fantasy
Mm.
fashion. So during the 80s,
But,
there were many of those bad movies with low
but
budgets.
Italian are
Yeah.
great making rip-offs,
Hmm.
because Italian zombie movies are way better than American zombie movies. So
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
Zombie by Lucio Fulci is way better. I love George Romero movies. The Night on the Living Dead, the first one is one of my top 10 movies. By Zombie is so primitive, so crude, so naive that is better.
Well,
And
in that one, I'll go towards Romero first because I've been
You're a
a big
huge.
fan.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Romero's the trilogy at least. Not all of his movies, but at least Night of the Living Dead is my
but
favorite zombie movie.
obviously Night of the Living Dead is the peak of zombie movies, being almost the first. Oh, that one, Warriors of the
Yeah.
Wasteland,
Hmm.
is 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 amazing too. I remember watching that one. I don't know if it's a thing in other countries, but here in Spain in the 80s, there was those cinema theaters where you pay one ticket, but you can spend all the time you want. But they had like three movies in loop,
I don't think
and
we have that here. Well,
Well,
maybe
we
a
had
long
that,
time
but it
ago.
was we had, but it was only porn movies.
but
I never saw one,
I
but I
guess
know that was.
I guess those were like that here. But I remember like being like uh, 10, 11. I had that friend that was like his family that was 3 years older than me, and they usually left us together to go well, take that money, go to the cinema, and and then I was like, I said like 10, 11, 12 maybe, and and I watched it in the same row, The Thing and the Road Warrior, and and I think that was the worst experience of my childhood, but but now I love that movies. But yes, that there is I remember being that kid watching the Road Warrior, and there is a scene when they tie a kid to two motorbikes and they pull them and they pull one arm of the kid and I was like, dude, that's horrible, but I love it.
Well, that works. Uh, I spent all my childhood watching horrible stuff, and I never killed anyone. So that's
But I remember that going to the video club and choosing the movie because of the cover. Usually the cover was way better than the movie, but
yeah,
you
that's
see that, for example, the Barbarians. You see that cover with the airbrushing painting of the two
yeah.
barbarians and the monster, and you have to rent it. And there
I
were
think the that cover versus movie discrepancy was much worse in the case of science fiction movies.
yeah.
The covers were always very
Amazing. Then,
interesting, and then then everything takes place on Earth, and there are no spaceships. But you see a lot of an alien planet and spaceships and everything. But then that's not the space opera. It's just
yeah.
it's a
Oh,
dystopic
this is
movie.
gonna take place. Yeah, it's gonna, but everything takes place on Earth.
It was well. I understand why. That's a matter of budget. They couldn't afford it.
And
They
I
could
think we
afford a
saw some of
poster.
those films recently.
Yeah,
Like no, yeah.
lots of
Oh
them.
no, this takes place on Earth.
When we
I, like the Masters of the Universe movie that
Yeah,
starts
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
Exactly.
yeah.
That's one of
starts in
them. Yeah.
Eternia, and then the producer said, "No, no, no, too expensive. Let's go to Earth." Fuck off. But
Yeah,
I love that kind of I think is like it's so fake that is super honest. It's like it's the one thing and the contrary and at the same time is bad and is good, is fake and is honest, and I enjoy a lot that kind of movies. I know is not the cup of tea for everyone, but I enjoy watching bad shooting, watching bad makeups. I love to see the sip of the monster of the.
yeah.
So we started talking about this because you asked me about my influences,
Yes, yes.
Mhm,
and
yeah.
this is something I like to show in my art, that kind of cheap
Yeah.
but honest production. Yeah, that's it. That's the word. The authenticity.
Yeah,
And,
no.
and that is
That
why some
the
movies that
Makira.
from the 80s that had, well, probably not the very bad ones, but some of the that had actual prompts and I'm thinking even the original Star Wars and all the what's his name, the guy that did Gremlins. I'm missing missing his name.
Joe Dante.
Dante Edwin that did
Oh,
all those. They're a lot more real than than the CGI
Yeah,
versions.
Star
yeah,
Wars. Those big, well, some were big, some were smaller, but the models that were physical things, not CGI. They
yeah,
were,
are way better
yeah,
than the maybe the CGI looks more realistic, or but it's not as good. I can't remember what movie uh, uh, we watched recently that had these puppets, and I told my wife I prefer this kind of practical effects than CGI because I believe that what I can't remember what movie. I can't remember, but there was a monster in the movie that was a puppet.
There are a lot more real. Yeah, when I see old
Mm.
movies,
Yeah,
like, oh, but this is when you see the version in, that's it's
and
CGI.
this,
Yeah,
especially in the late 80s and the 90s, when CGI was and special effects in general were very
But I
bad.
think now also because the CGI is
Yeah, it's
better, but
still,
I
but
think people are. I know maybe the people doing CGI are being lazy.
yeah, probably it's starting to look bad again.
Yeah,
yeah, but you watch today Jurassic Park and looks way better than the last Marvel movie. Way better.
Hmm.
I haven't. Yeah, we haven't watched Jurassic Park, but yeah, yeah, that's one of the things. Marvel. I remember
Yeah,
when we
probably.
were watching. Well, the first because we only watched the first Avengers movie, and Hulk
Mm.
appears, and I was like, that's that's awful.
Yeah,
Hulk is always awful.
Yes, I know, but I think it's even worse than
The,
the other Hulk.
I think the best Hulk was the guy painted the big guy
Luferrino.
painted green.
I
Yeah,
think that
Joe says lazy and overworked. Yes,
Yeah.
also.
yeah, there are a couple of Marvel movies that I think are great. I liked a lot the first Iron Man,
Yeah,
uh,
we like
the
that one too.
Yep.
the Hulk with Edward Norton. I think is great too.
I didn't like it because it's Hulk, but and I can't
But
like
yeah, it's
Hulk,
better than
but it's
well,
better. Yeah,
definitely better than the woke Hulk now.
I
yep.
like that one. The first three movies of the X Men. I think
Hmm.
they are great
Mhm.
too.
Yeah,
But then it's like I have this theory that
yeah, Luferrino. That's
yeah,
it.
Lutheran. I have this theory that when Disney is looking for a writer for a Marvel movie, they ask, "Do you like Marvel comics?" And then the writer say, "Yes, and you are hired," because it's impossible that uh, they they uh, they piece so much on the heritage of Marvel. It's only people that hates Marvel and know is in charge because I don't understand how they can misrespect so much the source.
They're doing it for modern audiences.
Yeah, modern audience.
Ah,
That it's a modern show for modern
that's
audiences.
The modern audiences hate the movies and they hate the comics and they hate everything.
when
Apparently.
when they say that they are making a remake for modern audiences, you know, is going to be
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. We
Yeah.
watched one episode of the first episode of Velma, and oh my god, because it was like I hate watching. Let's see how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's
But
so
why?
so bad. Oh my god, how did they do this?
I don't understand it. I I remember that the episodes of The Office written by Mindy Kaling are great. So she hit her head or something like that, and because I and they are those episodes from the Office are not woke at all, and are the ones that make a lot of jokes about being her character being Indian or the black characters. So when I when I when I read that Mindy Kaling was writing a show about Velma, I said, "Well, can be good, but it's not at all." But,
Nowadays nothing can be
what
good.
what how can a show about Scooby Doo can have Scooby Doo?
Yeah,
It's
yes,
the
it's like
main
well,
character.
you say no, it's just Velma. So it's like she wanted to do a show, but she had to say okay, so it's Velma, so to have it done, but it doesn't have
But
anything to do with Scooby Doo.
But then Velma is not Velma and Shaggy is not Shaggy and they're all
Yes,
different.
yeah, is that thing that they say self-insert. That
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that the most of the shows and the comics today are fan fiction, are Tumblr fan fiction. I think it's okay. I'd like to put myself into the things I like. I love X-Men and I like to be a mutant, but I won't write a professional thing about me being a mutant, and is that is so I think that today that official shows about pop culture are fan fiction, not
Hmm.
not actual product, not
Yeah.
official.
Yeah. That's why it all looks so bad.
Yeah,
I
I could
think
never
yeah,
play
probably.
myself in a role-playing game, so I couldn't do that. I hated that idea. Some people will like that and play themselves. No, no, no way. I'm not going to play myself. I wouldn't do those things. It's ridiculous. I would be. Oh, there's a monster. Let's investigate it. The fuck I will. I would run away.
I once ran a session with a homebrew, very cheap, very easy system, but easy to understand. Uh, in a zombie apocalypse with my friends, and I made them to play themselves, and it was great because it was real, and it was like a simulation of how will you act in a
Hmm.
zombie apocalypse. But I think that works in something that you really know. But
Mhm.
I I,
Yeah,
I will play myself in a setting like that, but
yeah. That's
I will not put myself in Aquelarre, for example,
yeah.
Yeah.
because a guy with glasses will die in Aquelarre in in a couple of days.
Yeah, the zombie apocalypse is something very specific where
Yeah,
it can be normal people, even in fiction. Usually,
I think
that's about it.
it's fun to put you in that situation that
Yeah.
But that's the kind of a story where the protagonists are running away, not really,
uh,
And
because
and they have
they
to do
should.
something because it's the apocalypse, so
it's
they have to try
something,
to survive.
and it's something relatable. So
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know you can in a zombie apocalypse you can play in your neighbor on your country and with your people you know, and it's but in a fantasy setting playing yourself I don't think is
Yeah.
something that
actually,
works because
there's something that I had a very. It was very difficult for me a few years ago to write scenarios that took place in Portugal because Portugal doesn't have a movie in terms of movie industry. Well, there's no movie industry, and but worse than that, in things like horror or fantasy or sci-fi,
Yeah.
the
There's none.
there's very
Yeah.
almost
Very, very
none.
little.
So
yeah,
I can't imagine something like that taking place in Portugal. It's very difficult. Now I started doing something because I'm doing that for foreigners, so that's not
yeah.
really a problem. I can. It's easier.
You can make a scenario for a zombie apocalypse in Oporto because like all the streets are like this, so you can let all the zombies to the lower part of the city and live up there because they can't claim that.
Actually,
that the
we did
streets.
one, but it's in southern Portugal. It's in
It's
a
in Troia. It's near the beach.
yeah. So to make
Summer
it all different,
zombies.
there's a summer resort that's going to be flooded by zombies. That was, but people didn't enjoy that much. I
Yeah, but
think.
we had a lot of fun playing it.
Yeah, it was.
We played it twice. It was one of the things that the first thing that we live streamed.
Yeah,
We already had played it.
yeah. It's fun to play.
We weren't
It's
playing ourselves, but we had that. We are in Portugal in the 80s, so we don't know
yeah,
what zombies are. They are drunken English.
yeah. That the zombie
Anything
movie wasn't popular.
anyway, I think that the point of RPGs is being other than yourself.
Mhm.
So I don't that's what I don't understand. Going back to the walk point, that's why I not understand these rules to have a wheelchair
Yeah,
in a fantasy setting. So who the fuck wants to be in a wheelchair? Who wants to play that? I can understand that maybe in Cult on or in Call of Cthulhu can be a strong narrative tool, but in a fantasy setting,
yeah,
I think is I think I if I take out my glasses, I can't see shit. So I will never play a character that need glasses in a fantasy settings. I don't want to be the guy with glasses in a fantasy settings. I am the guy with glasses in real life. So I don't understand why they are implementing those kind of rules. No, because it's inclusive. No, inclusive is that the guy that in real life is in a wheelchair can be the fucking barbarian
Exactly.
in
It
in
doesn't
the
have to
fantasy
carry
setting.
the wheelchair to the game.
So
it might
it's
have
like
something to do with the narcissism of younger
it's
generations.
it's
They
it's,
want
it's
to play
telling
themselves all the time.
the
Yeah,
people that you always be disabled. So it's
it's who you are, but it's
yeah.
not. You are not a disabled person. You are a person that happens to be disabled.
Yeah,
I
but
don't understand but okay,
You are
let's
getting depressed again. Oh,
let's
those young people.
well, they are young people,
Yeah,
most of them. Some of the old guys also.
yeah.
well,
They-
I found a lot of old people that felt in the woke cult, but not too much, not too much.
I think some of those guys finally saw their hobby becoming popular, and they wanted that so much that they,
They want to be cool. Cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
they want to be with the cool guys, with the cool boys, so they started just adapting their 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 tropes, and but I don't think they like it. It's just a matter of being approved by other people and feeling part of a group. I think probably.
Uh, maybe is one of the reasons to go walk to I think that a lot of people is afraid of being cancelled or accused
Hmm.
of being a fascist. But I don't know. Personally, I've never cared too much about people said of me. So okay,
Yeah,
you think I am a fascist?
that's,
Okay, it's good.
yeah. Well, that's the only way we can react to this and still be sane, mentally sane.
So one thing that I think is important is um, when I've attended to these conversions to the and I have had my stand in the artist alley. There have been a lot of really young people, like 19, 20, 23, that came to me and they say, you are that Tanaka that draws in that cartoons for this conservative newspaper.
Hmm.
And at first I was, okay, now here it comes again. But uh, there have been a lot of young people that tell me, it's great what you do. It's great that there is someone in the that puts humor
Hmm.
against all these. It's great that we can find someone uh, in a newspaper or on Instagram or on Twitter that they can relate because they feel really lonely. and
Mhm.
it's great to see that not all the young people is in that boat. That there are a lot of young people that is tired of that, and it's great to 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 talk to someone that is like 25 years younger than you, but likes what you do, and thinks that is the right thing to to
Mhm.
to be against that with humor. So
Are
I
there
think it's all not lost. It's
are
all
there
not.
people fighting against the not in terms of the concept of wokeism? Known people, famous people in Spain. I know Reverte is one of them, but I don't, that one I know. But
Yeah, well, there is a lot of people that maybe Reverte is the most famous and the most known in the media because of the novels and all of that, and because he's very charismatic. But there is a lot of people uh, in the TV and
Mhm.
in newspapers that is not the idea that you will have of a conservative
Mhm.
one. That because I think that you think of a conservative like an old cranky man smoking a pipe, but then you find young people that that is against all this cancel culture, and but the movement against them is really strong. So the the moment they tweet or they make a book or something,
Mhm.
the social media are completely against them.
are you still doing those cartoons for the newspaper?
Excuse me?
Are you still doing those cartoons
Yeah,
that you mentioned?
yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
the newspaper, by the way?
It's La Razón.
Oh, okay. I think I know that.
Is every Sunday there is a section called Contracultura, counterculture, maybe.
Is that
That
on the site or just the paper version?
I don't know. It's only the Sundays. It's only
Mm.
in the Sundays. Yeah,
I was trying to find it on their website.
yeah.
Uh,
But is this section is written by this friend of mine, and like a couple of years ago, she told me, "Hey, take your purses because this next Sunday you start publishing with me in the newspaper." So just and it's great because it's a section where she writes um, about how woke movement is poisoning culture,
Mhm.
and I make the cartoon related to that.
mhm.
So we don't talk about politics or side. We touch the politics by side, but we talk usually about culture, about cancel culture.
Mhm. That is the part of it that I care most, is the fact that it affects culture.
Hmm.
It affects
Yeah,
art, it affects cinema, it affects, yeah, so you can have leave
very much.
politics out of it, leave politics out of culture.
Yeah. So that's there is this far left politician that like 5 6 years ago he started to say that everything is political, and that's the horse of Troy of cancel culture in Spain. They began to say that everything is political. So not only politics are political, but cinema, but novels, but movies, but how a building is built is political.
That's the postmodern madness.
Yeah.
That thing that there's always oppression and whatever, and no, there
So I
isn't. People aren't building buildings just to oppress anyone.
so
That's
I
stupid.
think if all that woke thinking stayed inside politics, wouldn't be so dangerous.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
since is poisoning, like you said, like cinema and movies and music and everything, I think that's the worst part because it's like there is no place where you can enjoy something without being politic. You have to be to watch something from 10 years ago or
yeah.
read
Hmm.
At
something from
least
10 years ago at least because
we usually go far behind.
yeah
You
and
see
and
people smoking in movies, something that something so
People
simple like that.
smoking in the doctor, that's funny. But
Yeah,
doctor smoking
or
while they are
smoking in
attending.
bed.
yeah
I love smoking in
uh,
bed.
la,
I never tried
last
it,
time
but I think it's
last
yeah.
time we watched Jack Ryan that I like it a lot. The second season is not good, but the in the third one we started to watch it, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Look, the bad guys are the Soviets, and and this guy is smoking. Is for real? It's a show from the last year,
That's
and
strange.
the
Yeah.
communists are the bad guys. The people smokes. There is a black woman that is not always saying, "I am a black woman." Uh, I am here because I am a black woman. No, it doesn't matter that she is black. She is important because what she do, not because. And I was really surprised that a
Yeah,
show,
that's strange.
that was like 1 year ago
Mhm.
had all that things. But yes, it is sad and boring. And here we are again. Let's change
Yeah, yeah. I
subjects.
think we need
We
to
always
let.
come back to
Yeah,
this.
I think let's finish maybe. We've been going on for two
Oh, just
two
one question.
two
Yeah.
hours.
What?
Yes.
How do you feel about Jesus Franco's movies?
Oh, they are amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
are amazing. I I went to this conference years and years ago with Jess Franco and Paul Nasky, the guy who played the werewolf here in Spain, and wow, that was amazing. They talk a lot about how they shoot the movies without permission, how they how they create the makeups and the effects, and how they used the street lights to shoot in the night, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it
they
is a
are
good
great.
example of someone that, yeah, the movies are bad, but they are really good.
Yeah, I think that if Jess Franco had a bigger budget, he could have done really good movies because it seems that the guy was he did that not just with the passion, but he also had the technique, and it just
You just
didn't have the
the
money.
money.
Yeah, I think that he was a guy that really had a vision on how to about how
Hmm.
to make movies like Romero, for example,
Yeah.
or or mm, or Sergio Leone is people that could make great movies without too much money and without reshooting a lot, or because they were great in their minds, and even we talked about him these past years in Twitter about the guy from The Shining. No, not Scorsese. How is the name of that?
Kubrick.
Kubrick. Yeah.
Kubrick. It's a guy that didn't. He made really expensive movies like Spartacus or Space Odyssey, but he he know how to use the budget, and The Shining is not a very expensive movie, but it's amazing
Mhm.
because he had a vision, and I think that Jess Franco and is in other league, obviously, but it's a guy that knows what he wanted to do, and well, I have no money. It doesn't matter. I find how to do it, but it's I appreciate a lot that kind of art,
Yeah,
that is cheap but is honest and
Mhm.
authentic. Yeah,
yeah. Well,
so
that's something that we
I,
quite like a lot.
yeah.
The Italian
I can
director.
keep talking forever. So cut me when you want, but
I
push
think
the
we need to
button and
start. We're gonna, yeah, we need to
Yeah,
start streaming just talking about movies. You actually thought about that, but with other people. So if we get to do that, we will invite you. So let's talk about
okay, next time
this movie.
we'll talk about movies,
yeah.
but I think I have to have some DVDs here so I can remember
Yeah,
stuff. So
so you can remember the
I'll do a
names of the.
selection. I'll do
And
a
it can be
selection of
way it can be great to choose one of these bad movies and
Yeah, because we
yeah.
did that in
maybe
the beginning. We were showing a bit of
Oh,
images
do
and
you?
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
oh
But it was. I had to do some editing. I don't like to do video editing. It's kind of boring. So I just yeah. But Joseph wants to be
no,
on
but
movie
I
as well.
think it's great just talking about some. I
Yeah.
think that is movies that everyone knows. So you don't need to put clips
Yeah,
of
or just
the
about
Barbarian,
bad
for
movies
example.
that nobody that
Yeah,
some people don't know. Well, I think people that
Yeah,
watch our channel they probably know some of these bad
yeah.
movies.
Someone. Yeah, these nerds, these role playing nerds. They always.
Yeah,
They don't know every strange and weird movie, but there's always someone who knows
someone
what
that
they're talking
knows.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about another one. That's a Brazilian director, so that I don't know if you know him, but the guy who did
Ah,
the yeah,
Coffin Joe. I don't know how it's
yeah,
called in Zé do Caixão.
yeah. I don't know what's
It's
it called. Magica Marins.
Mojica Marins. It's a
So
guy
it's
that had these
a
huge
uh,
nails.
yeah, huge fingernails, and it was
no,
a what's it called? A the guy who owns the funeral
The guy
parlors.
that worked on the mortuary, the funeral
Yeah,
home.
much.
oh, I don't know that. I think I don't even know if it's a Brazilian
Well,
film. I have only seen Orfeo
I'll
Negro, Black Orfeum.
I'll show you the guy. So if you've seen it, you know what it is.
Yeah, they are in YouTube, but I don't know if they have the films are in
Yeah, it's
YouTube.
kind of
But
kind
the quality is very bad.
yeah, no, it's not. So if you know this guy, it's
It,
Oh, yeah. I know the guy, but I haven't watched anything.
yeah, I think you're gonna like it. It's
yeah.
also a very
Coffin
bad
It's
Joe.
budget.
also it's the kind of thing that is very bad, but the guy he had some well, he knew what he was doing, so it was a
He had these huge, how do you call, monologues with the camera.
yeah.
Ah,
He
yeah.
wasn't a good actor,
Yeah, but
yeah. But I think he didn't have any actors, so he had to star himself.
he was very yeah, he's very famous in Brazil. He's probably one.
Yeah,
He's a cult director
yeah.
there, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did one of those shows where he was presenting movies, so like Elvira or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was showing horror movies, and he was very popular. After he was old, this is
Well,
when he was
I'll
a
give it
young
a
man.
try. I'll give it
Yeah,
a try. Yeah,
probably.
thank you.
You probably can
And
find
those
it.
nails are real. He really had those huge nails.
Yeah,
And I
disgusting.
think he was forced. There was a point when he was older that he was
Yeah,
a friend of mine is Brazilian. They said that he was forced to cut the nails because he didn't want to, because the nails were getting.
you couldn't do anything with those hands. Okay, so we'll have
Okay.
to arrange something, schedule a movie
Okay.
talking
A movie talking,
Okay.
yes.
movie talking
Okay.
session.
Count me in for sure. Yeah. So
Okay,
Okay, so
so
thank you for
thank you
joining, and thank you
for
guys
joining.
for listening.
I enjoyed a lot. I want to thank you for letting me talk this much. I I I hope I've not been a bad influence for you guys or your channel.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
And just every time
Hey,
you want,
we have viewers.
yeah, that's
It's
great. That's it.
we never have many viewers because
Also
it's
because
this is
of the hour, because
yeah,
it's
but it's not bad.
Yeah, but I think people will watch it later.
Yeah, they
yes,
can watch it
exactly.
later.
And
Yeah,
there, it's fun that, yeah, the Red Room presents. So we have Joe already has a name for it.
That's great.
So
That's
yeah,
great for sure. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for having me and for inviting. And I loved to be here. So if you want me again, I'll promise to talk a bit less.
no, you can talk. That's exactly, that's why we
yeah,
bring people on the show, so we don't have to
yeah.
talk.
I'm not a great
Miguel is not
talker.
doesn't talk very much.
No.
Then I always feel like I talk too much. So we have someone here, else it
Yeah,
balances.
the guest comes here to talk about things more
And
than we
normally
do.
there's always more interesting than us, because
Yeah, and this doing
there's
this
new
live
stories to.
doing this live is also better because people can show up and ask some questions and
Or just say
move
stupid
the
things, and it's
conversation.
different.
Yeah,
Yes, it
that's
makes it
yeah,
more
different stupid things, not just ours. So it moves the
exactly.
conversation along other subjects.
I think that I love to watch while I'm working. I love to have this kind of videos running in the back because you can always learn
Hmm.
something new or new something someone interesting. So I hope that if people watch it, enjoys it as much as I've enjoyed it.
And keep your eyes on the Salt webcomic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm curious to know how it's going to
me
develop
too.
the story.
Me too, because I
Yeah, you
don't know
know.
what I have to draw next.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
thank
Thank you
you.
for
Bye
coming,
bye.
and thank you for watching, and bye bye. Have a nice week.
Bye, everyone. Ciao.